Everybody. So for this discussion, we have another little scenario, and this is something, like I said before, we're probably going to do a couple times this term, where all of our conversation is going to be around some sort of hypothetical, and you have to kind of come up with a way to deal with the situation. Okay, this is kind of challenging our kind of our behavioral thinking. What do we do in a given situation? So in this case, you are the head of a team. Say you're a manager or a director somewhere, and you are tasked with looking through resumes. Okay, and so you get a couple of resumes that come your way, and for lack of a better term, they're just not very good. There are some serious formatting issues, and then there's maybe some font issues, maybe a little bit of both, right? So the question is, what do you do? Now, this is going to be very, very important because, look, we're a career college. We're preparing you for a specific career, but also you're going to be doing a lot of kind of resume writing in some of your classes going forward. So the more you know about it now, the better off you're going to be. So essentially, what do you do? If you have a resume that comes to you and looks like the experience on it looks pretty good, right? But the font is a different color and it's kind of strange and the formatting is all over the place. It's really kind of messy perhaps, or things, the margins are all off and maybe there's some problems with spelling. Maybe there's some issues with kind of big open blank white spaces where there should be text and you're not really sure why. Essentially, this is not the kind of resume you're supposed to have. What do you do? So this is an opportunity for us to not only analyze Microsoft Word and fonts, just like that video has, and then formatting in general, but it also should prompt us to think a little deeper about resumes themselves, right? What are you really looking for in a resume? What is most important in a resume? Let's say everybody, all the experience looks really good, but that's the best of it, and everything else looks terrible, right? Or what if you have a resume that looks very, very good, but is pretty thin on experience? What do you do there? And how do you kind of measure those two types of people? So essentially, you have to ask yourself that question. How am I going to respond as a manager? What am I supposed to do with resumes? How tough am I supposed to be, or how lenient am I supposed to be? And we'll kind of see where the conversation goes. This conversation is always a really interesting one because people can have lots of different thoughts, a lot of it based on personal experience. So we often get a very fruitful conversation going. Now, keep your eyes peeled. We're going to have another one of these additional threads coming up. I know a lot of you took part in the one last week, and it was very interesting. We're going to have another one, hopefully kind of along the same lines, usually something related to internet ethics. That's what I like to talk about. But keep your eyes peeled for that, and we'll see where the week's conversation takes us. Thanks, folks.